Morning, everyone. So this morning I've got Ezra 3. So Ezra 3 is all about when they rebuilt the temple, when the Israelites rebuilt the temple after they had been freed. So the couple verses that really stood out to me, one was in the beginning here when they were saying how in verses kind of 1 to 3, when they were saying how they were afraid to build it at first because of the foreigners that were in the land. Yet God calmed their fear because he knew that this would bring glory to him. And it's really important to not be afraid. And it kind of goes back to the time we're in right now, in that we shouldn't be afraid of the world or what they're going to think of us because we are praising God and everything throughout this tough time. And that we should be focused on him and know that there is a greater plan for what is going on right now with the virus and everything, and that God's plan, we might never see it, but that he is working through this and that we are going to get through it together with him. So then it continues on to the beginning of rebuilding the temple and the logs that were used to it and everything, and all the people that had worked together to start building this temple again. And the last thing I wanted to point out was actually verse 12 and 13, so the last two verses of the chapter talk about how the older priests who had seen the previous temple, Solomon's temple, wept out loud when they saw this one. That is because Solomon's temple was so glorious and magnificent of how large it was and how intricate the designs were. And this one was kind of built a little bit faster and a little bit scrappier. However, the people who hadn't seen the old one before were cheering out loud. And so I think it's really important here that you can focus on not necessarily the physical aspect of it, but the spiritual aspect of the temple and how what it means to have that spot dedicated to glorifying God and to sacrificing animals and different things to him, and how important that was to them. And it didn't really matter what it looked like, but how the people who hadn't seen the old temple before were still so impressed and happy with the ability to glorify God in what they do at the temple. So those are my thoughts on Ezra 3. Let me know what you guys thought or had anything else that stood out to you. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.